Hello, I'm the Short Gal, and this is my show. This show is named like this as a metaphor, as I see being short a disadvantage in the society I live in. But this podcast is not about the vertically challenged. It's more than that. It's about conversations and sometimes monologues on how people have been able to overcome challenges when they thought they had no chances of succeeding. It's about society, leadership, and advice. This is episode 4, interview with Vanessa Felix, chef, entrepreneur, and supermom. Hello friends, this is the Short Gal with episode 4, and I'm ecstatic as I had the chance to record my very first Short Gal show interview with a fascinating lady. Vanessa Felix and I went to school together. In Peru, most of the private schools go from elementary to high school, so I've known her since we were little. We weren't best friends, but we were friendly throughout school, and I've gotten to know her better as an adult. She's a chef and studied at the Cordon Bleu in Lima, and has held several positions as a professional chef since graduation. She currently owns V's Gourmet to Go, a grab-and-go gourmet meal service in Indiana. She's also the proud mom of 2 boys. This is rather intimidating as we will speak to each other entirely in English, which I don't think we've ever done before. So our schoolmates will either think it's funny or tacky, who knows. In any case, Vanessa is someone with a full schedule, but has found the perfect balance to pursue her passions and still be a mom first. So this episode offers great lessons in time management, goals, and business innovation. I hope you enjoy it, and here we go. So Vanessa, thank you for being on the show. You are my very first Short Gal show interview. So this is awesome.
Yeah.
and I wanted to talk to you, and I've been wanting to talk to you for a long time, because I think that I'm certainly fascinated by your life. So I want you to tell my listeners a little bit about you.
Well, I grew up with you in Peru, in Lima, and like a few people, I guess, we once we grow and venture in life, I ended up in a small town here in Indiana, which I fell in love with, growing up in the city and being busy with different things. I don't know, like you don't have time to think about what else is out there until you start traveling and seeing and getting to know people that have different hobbies and that can introduce you to things. So I ended up here in southern Indiana, and I love it. It's a little town. It's very quiet, it's peaceful. If I want city, I drive 30 minutes. If I want country or, escaping the woods or something like that, I just drive 20 minutes. So I'm in the middle of both best worlds, So, yeah.
Awesome. How long ago did you move?
2002. I finished up the Cordon Bleu in Peru, and then I moved here and I got married. I had met my fiance at the time while traveling to Canada as a teenager. And when we had been engaged, and he was waiting for me to finish my career, and I moved back here and we got married 2 months later. So
cool. And fast forward to 2017, now you're living in Indiana, and well, you're a single mom of 2 and also an entrepreneur. So I'm going to stop a little bit with you as an entrepreneur. So as you said, we went to the same school. So I've basically known you as, a youngster and a teenager, but not necessarily as an adult, even though we've hang out a little bit. And I've been watching what you're doing on Facebook, but I'm deeply intrigued to know more about your facet as an entrepreneur. So why don't you tell me a little bit about that?
Well, after, finish up Le Cordon Bleu, and then I moved to Jacksonville, Florida for about 3 years, where I got a little bit a branch out of my experience as a chef. I worked for a big company I guess I was a pastry chef for Maggiano's down in Jacksonville. And then during my interviews, I met some people, and I had a experience with just pretty much top of the line chefs that really build my confidence in the kitchen, and kind of I was able to see where my skills as a chef were. When I moved back, working on different projects, it was time for me to do my own project. So it started kind of in the healthy and organic and fresh foods options down here. People were looking for new concepts. So talking to a friend, playing on Pinterest and looking through different things, I began a project called Salads in a Jar, which I built out Salads in a Jar. It was a business that I deliver. I had a different line of customers that include, some offices around the square, the courthouse, the schools, and the hospital. And I formed a line like that. And then once that started going, and I started building my line of friends that would order on regular basis, it was time for me to branch out a little bit and start offering other services for people that, wanted to eat somewhere and sit down instead of just stay at the office and eat their jar, or, just throwing out, always thinking of the next idea. So that's how it kind of began. I ended up going to, I rented a little spot that I fixed, and I moved twice since, which now I'm in the new location. I have like 3 tables, there's a bar, and people can come and go. I don't have a set menu. I change my menu every day, and that's the fun about it. Every day is different, and I'm the manager and I'm the chef, and you order, everything is custom made. So you come in and I give you the options that I'm offering there. I adapt to some dietary needs for people, and I adjust things for people that want to eat healthier but don't know where to start. There's always new options, and so, I kind of branched out. Now I bake, I make bread, I offer sandwiches and soups, and I just, but again, always thinking on what's the next idea. I'll probably restart doing the jars. I had stopped doing the jars for a bit, and I'm picking that up after the summer comes back in. It was very convenient. People will set up their orders for the week, and all they had to do was set up a cooler outside, and I will just come in and drop it. It was very efficient. It saved them a lot of waste in the refrigerators, or driving to the drive-through or like the grocery store and trying to pick up things, and then it saved them time, so they could spend more time with their family, especially for moms that were always on the go but they wanted to eat healthy. It was easier to grab a jar and sit down and eat their jar during their kids' sports practice and kind of keep their goals, So it was just kind of, yeah.
Did you deliver that yourself, or did you have people delivering?
I did.
Wow.
No, I did. I did, yeah, because in the option I used to have, I would set up a menu over the weekend, and people will look through it and then get the order in for the week. And sometimes, because I will specify everything that had in there, some people didn't like, or people were allergic to certain things. So some of these jars were tweaked. I did have a friend of mine that helped me for a little bit on more hectic days, I guess, deliver. But it was very specific. Like, I needed to make sure by that point, I just knew which jar goes to which house. And it started really early. So I had people that work outside of town, and they needed their jars before 7. So before swimming, I swim a couple of times a week. And before swimming, at 5:30, I will go and drop it off and then go swimming, it just kind of was like that. It was like on the way, I will work on the way to swim. So it worked out. It takes a lot of planning. It takes a lot of strategizing. It's always what's next, it goes well and it's great, but it's always like the idea is what's next? What can you do to help other people, and what can you do to make it fun for you, so it doesn't become a routine, so it doesn't become hectic, so it makes you continue being creative. What can you do that others are not doing? What can you do but it's always what next, what can you do to make it new and fresh. So everything makes an inspiration, everything inspires you to come up with new ideas. You always have to say I did it once. So
that's good. Well, it seems to be working for you. Do you have any competition where you are?
Not in that type of setup. I'm trying to stay away from the other services that you can find around here. There are other restaurants, obviously there are, but no, nobody changed the menu day to day. I like the idea about that. Usually people's like, how do you do it? I'm like, well, it's all about cravings. I love to eat. And I always, if I go to a grocery store, which I love going to a grocery store, and I see like the beets are beautiful and big, what can I do with those beets? Or like right now, like the strawberries and the blueberries and the blackberry, everything's in season. So what can I do? What can I do it? So it's just like serve as like a fresh piece of fruit on the salad, on a fruit, like a board, and like a cheese and fruit board. Can I make a sauce with it? Can I do these? So it's always like, I actually just was looking through and I said, you know what, I've never had moonshine and I never made moonshine. So why don't I make moonshine? So I'm going to venture out and see how that works out. I'm not making it from the beginning of the process. I'm not macerating any weed and waiting for my, anything like that. I'm not, or the basic go. I just started with a 190, alcohol proof Everclear. And I'm just adding flavors to it. And while I'm doing that, I'm probably making some bitters too, and see what I can come up with. And that will be ideas for later on for classes, just for classes. Whenever I do a class, I offer a class every other month, which I offer a menu. People can come and I, teach the whole menu, from a cocktail to like first course, main course, and dessert, step by step. Give them a recipes they get to eat. So it's really, even if you don't cook and you just want to see how your food is prepared and you want to eat well for one night or different, there's an option there like that. So like I said, it's always what next? What can I do to make it fun? What can I do to offer a new service?
That's great. And I wish we had something like that here. As you said, there are the other businesses that deliver and that, but changing the menu on a daily basis and having something that is gourmet, first of all, and homemade is just, you're going to have to open a franchise here in Tampa.
Our moms and our grandmas and, the way I grew up and you grew up, it's like, it's normal. Like you cook every day. It's from scratch. You make time. I don't know how. It just kind of happens. You make time for it. There's a lot of chefs from different restaurants that are coming with great ideas. And, you might go out to eat. You see an idea you like. You kind of try to inspire yourself from that one and say, oh, how can I make it? Oh, that will be great with this. Or I don't know. You just, that's how you implement and keep changing, keep creating.
Let me talk to you about, you've mentioned just in this little bit of time that we've been talking, a bunch of different activities that you do. So I want to talk to you about your schedule. I really am interested in time management skills. And I cannot even imagine what your day looks like because, well, you have your own business. You're a single mom of 2 kids who are far apart in age. So what does your typical day look like?
I don't know. I just take it one day at a time. I'm not going to lie. If I will tell you, yes, I'm planning the whole week, it will be great. I don't. I try to do as much as I can in one day. So like the next day there's room for something, or if something pops out, then it doesn't, I just can keep going. So what happens like that, I wake up every morning at 5 in the morning. Now that the kids are on summer vacation, the schedule would change, but it would usually be, I used to swim about, a couple times a week. That changed a little bit with the baby. So now I just swim if I can, when I can. If the day, allows me to do it, then I'll just do it, which I'm only allowed to do that twice a week anyway. But I wake up every day at 5, usually work out, stretch, change, or, have coffee. That's my quiet. That's my me time. Between 5 and 7, it's me time. I have coffee and I kind of think about what the day it's going to be or the things that I have to do that day. because the schedule changes. My schedule changed, the kids' schedules change, and different things. So usually on a typical day, I will go and drop Sebastian off at school, and then go take the baby to daycare. Then I go for a run. I try to run between 2 and 5 miles every day. Then I come home, shower, post the menu, go to the grocery store, and then go to work. So I come in and I, start prepping and setting things up and open, these Gourmet doors, and, it just flows. The day just flows. Like in between then, I close around 3 p.m. So that allows me an hour to, clean and close shop for the day. Then I go get the baby. Sebastian has after school activities, so I usually don't have to pick him up until 5:30. So around 4 o'clock, I pick up the baby from daycare, and I go to the Y, and I do a little workout, usually just a class or things like weights that I would not do on my own at home. I will be lying. Like, I'll have to do it for pride. I have to do it like in a room surrounded by people that are struggling probably as much as I do, so that I can make it happen for another 45 minutes. So I work out for about an hour and a half, and then I go get the kids. Then I come home, and Sebastian starts setting up his homework. I cook. We have dinner together, bathe the baby, and baby's in bed by 9. Sebastian, usually it's between 9 and 11, just depends on how much work he has. And once he's in bed, I clean house. Every night, clean house. So like in the morning, whenever I wake up and have my me time, I actually can sit down and enjoy. I don't really sleep a whole lot. I go to bed from, I don't know, I guess at midnight, midnight till 5. I mean, that's good enough for me. Like there is always the morning, whenever I have my morning time, I usually just allows me to think of what all I have to do that day, or think about what sounds good to eat, and just kind of get in tune with myself and see, I don't know, just kind of see what I need to be doing for that day. So that's what it goes. Sunday nights are usually my biggest nights. I usually do a lot of my cleaning. I clean it every day, but do like deep cleaning and a lot of prep and planning on Sunday nights for the week.
Right, and you were telling me that you maintain certain flexibility to your schedule. So you're not completely set on this is what I'm going to do, every single day. I mean, as you said, if anything pops up, you just fit it into your schedule. So how important is that to just, keep your expectations kind of low and be flexible with your schedule?
It's like I don't have expectations. I have an idea of what I need to do. Something pops out, whether it's something in my work, like somebody calls me and asks me for order. I'll always take an order. I always take a job. But if Sebastian has somewhere to run, if I need to run and get him somewhere, or the baby gets sick and I need to make a stop, you just change. You just accommodate things around it to it. I don't stress. I just go. Yeah, it's always been like that, and I think I get the most done when the days are packed. It just feels good. I mean, that I don't know, that you accomplish so much, and then you just never know what the next day it's going to bring, My oldest son and I are about to spend some quality time together, some one-on-one time, and do a little traveling. So we got a few things to get ready for the trip. I haven't packed. I have an idea what I'm going to take.
Tell me about Sebastian a little bit more, because he seems to be quite the gentleman, and he's a smart kid from what I can see. I mean, he plays piano. He's smart with sciences and school and etc. So tell me a little bit about him, because just one of those kids that you don't see anymore. At his age, at least.
Yeah, he's an old soul. That's what I say. He's an old soul. He's very thoughtful, which he's very curious. He's always thinking of making life goals. Not so much on always about learning. He loves to read science. He's always been a science kid. He's really good at math, but he's always very curious. Anyway, so he's always like onto like what he can do, making goals, what he can do to improve, thinking of his future. He's always talking about college time, and so I hope that he gets to make all his dreams come true. But every time, he plays the piano. He loves that, and he's learned to read music, which is a talent I don't have. And now he wants to learn the violin. So we'll stick with piano, and we'll pick up violin in the spring or in the fall. And I'm excited about that. I hope he likes it. He's a good kid. He's thoughtful. He likes to read a lot. He's very articulate. And it brings a good balance, No, I can't wait to see what life brings for him. And of course, any opportunity that comes along, we just do what we can to make it happen, As a single mom and as a mom and a woman, I want to make sure that he knows that he can do anything that he wants. Any goals can make it happen. It requires a lot of work. It requires a lot of thought, and you have to put others first. You have to put yourself in a good position, but you have to put others first, because at the end of the day, you do things for other people. I have one goal as a mom, and the only goal I would say it is I want him to whatever life brings, I don't want him to feel like he's stuck. I want him to be able to think and say, okay, what do I do? What are my options? What can I do if something doesn't work? Not every project works. Not every time that you take a test or a class, you're going to be the top of your class. So now what? What can you do to make it? What can you do to improve? What can you do to make it work? What changes do you need to make it happen?
That's great. How's his Spanish?
Well, he speaks Spanish. He understands Spanish, and he gets to go to Peru, and he can read Spanish. That's one of the things. He still has an accent whenever he speaks, and some of it's on purpose sometimes. But no, he's great. I buy books in Spanish, like things like kids his age will read. He's got a good base for it. So.
Well, congratulations on raising such a, great human being. And I think he's going places. So, I can't wait to see it through what you share with us, what he does and where he goes to school. And, I'm cheering for him because he seems to be definitely, one of those kids where you see, oh, he has a future. He has a future as anything he wants to be. I think he'll be successful in anything he chooses to do.
Yeah, well, thank you. That's super sweet. I hope, as a mom, you don't know, you can do so much about it, but at the end, it's up to him, the decisions are up to him. It's like when those self-assessments, and then it's up to you, Yeah, I have a great support group. It's been amazing. There's a lot of empowering people and inspiring people that I get to talk about different things.
Talking about those activities and trying out new things and all that, talk to me a little bit about your passions, because I know that you love French, obviously you're a chef, and cooking and innovating is one of your things. Well, you make your own moonshine, and you were telling me you make your own beer every year. You love the outdoors.
Every year I make about 2 beers. Yes, and I like that. I like that a lot. You just meet people, and I like the culinary aspect, and I'm like, how can I apply it to what I do, and that kind of comes in, it's writing your own recipes for things. I'm very active, and of course we grew up in the city, so the outdoors were a little limited when we were kids. And when I was a kid, I love skiing. I took in skiing when I was a teenager. When I used to go to Canada. I used to switch my summers in Peru to go spend the winters in Canada, which was completely crazy because I didn't realize when I was a teenager how cold Canada was. A couple of years ago, I got to take Sebastian on a Canada adventure so that he can meet some of my friends, and we visited with the family that hosted me the first time when I was an exchange student there, and we went ice skating. We cleaned up a lake and just ice skating on a frozen lake. Did a little bit of dog sledding. It's always like, what can you do? I go to Peru once a year, and I recently, the last trip, we were there for Christmas and New Year's, and it was time to. I do things. I do things because I enjoy them, but I enjoy sharing those things with my kids. Of course, the baby's too little to go surfing, but I took Sebastian surfing for the first time. So we met with some locals there, and we would go at it. We would go at it every day. I love hiking, which there's a lot of woods here, and it's just the peace that it brings, and a little bit of a physical challenge. I like to go hiking to longer trails, and but there's a beauty in it, and it's a tranquility and quiet. It's just you and nature. I don't watch a lot of TV. I do sometimes, but I can tell you, it's probably been a month since I watched a show. I'm in the mode, like, there's so much to do, and by the time I sit down, we get to talk about the day and enjoy. And it's just always, I'm very active, so it just kind of works out. It's just nice to being able to do different type of activities outside and being able to enjoy nature in different ways, Yeah, there's a lot of lakes and little rivers and things like that around here. So, kayaking is good. I have some friends. I don't own my own kayak, but I have friends that do, and they always have more than one. So if we talk and they say, hey, let's go kayaking tomorrow morning, I just borrow one and we just make it happen. So it's nice sometimes to wake up and have coffee and you're on the lake and just having a little, one-on-one girl time and having coffee and kayak your morning, why not,
That's, again, fascinating. And I think a lot of people would probably, by listening to your story and all the things that you get to do just by prioritizing what's most important, they have no excuses. And of course, someone like me who's childless, and I'm like, well, I don't have enough time for this and that. Oh my God. I'm like, well, maybe I should start applying the 5 a.m. rule of getting up and getting ready for the day, and just some of the things that you said. Right now, I want to change subjects a little bit.
Okay.
And talk to you about your experience as an immigrant here in the U.S. You and I are both naturalized citizens of the U.S. I love it here. I think I have been embraced by, well, most people that I've met. I don't know about strangers, but, most people have been blessed that I've been welcome here. So what has been your experience?
Well, it's been nothing but great. I have nothing but good things to say. I've been very, very, very lucky. Always seems to have met people that were very open and encouraging and growing. So that's helped a ton. Life is full of experiences and memories, and it's always been great, whether it's been here in the small town or when I moved to Jacksonville back in 2007 for a few years doing interviews. I met some people in the food business and restaurant business, whether if it was work related or social environment. It's been great. Of course, whenever I lived in Florida, I met people that had different nationalities, so that was kind of normal. It just happened. But no, it's always been great. It's always been people that want to hear your story. Everybody has a story to tell. That's the whole point. Everybody has a story to tell. Everybody grew up different, and it's like we're all here, in this moment in time, and there's always something to learn. There's always something that to hear that might fascinate or inspire you to try something new. And that's kind of how it goes. It's just everything happens in conversation, just a simple small talk. Can make it, can make somebody's day or can make you try something new or meet, lifelong friends, but no, it's always been great.
In the human experience, you'll find that, we all have the same values. We all want the best for our families. We all want to improve ourselves. And I think that by talking to people and having these conversations, they realize that we certainly aren't that different. And I think that opens up their minds, especially to those who are not incredibly open-minded.
Yeah, you meet people that have never, I know people that never left hardly, haven't left, the country. They don't know what outside the country is. And I wouldn't know if I would have not had the opportunities that I was given. It helps others, and it helps you realize also like how lucky you are, whether to have them in your life or, to have had experiences that you have had, and what you can do, what's coming next. It comes to a point in your time where, you can be yourself fully with your friends. Like there's nothing more intimate and trustworthy and loving than, having friends that you can laugh with, you can go out to eat, you can pray with, you can share some, commonalities. Like it's amazing. It's very empowering, and yeah.
That's awesome. I'm going to, just to start wrapping up our interview, I want you to talk to my listeners and tell them 5 tips or 5 secrets of someone who has so much to do but still enjoys everything and does everything she wants to do. So give me about 5 different tips or secrets that others can learn from.
Gosh. Okay. 5 tips. Take care of your health, and, so that you have more fuel for your life. Well, that means, walk. You don't have to run. You can walk. I don't know, eat better, whatever you need, drink more water. Make sure that you surround yourself with people that constantly are great supporters of you in your life, and that you can do the same for them. Be true to yourself. Be honest all the time. Be true to yourself and know what you like. Not because your friend is doing certain things. Don't try to live other people's life. Make your own life, and remain true to yourself. Don't forget where you come from, but see yourself grow. But don't ever forget where you come from. And anything is possible. Just anything is possible, and anything, you can make anything happen. That's what it is. It's anything. You can make anything happen. Yeah, of any kind. Anything can make. Anything. It's just up to you and how much you want it. Anything is possible. Just make it happen. And if you have an idea, try it out. And if it doesn't work out, come up with a better idea. Just think things through. Don't be afraid of talking these things out with people that might give you a different, might shape up that idea and make it better. That's just what life is. It's just your experiences. It comes to that. It's experiences and people. And, I see life as a train. People jump into your wagon, and, some people stay there and ride with you for a long time. Some people hop off, and new people come in, you change directions, and but you're always going somewhere. Always. It's constantly
That's great
moving.
Philosophy. And I thank you very much for being my very first interview, and for being available so quickly. That was wonderful. Plus, you're a great interviewee. So where can people find you on social media? Do you have a public site that people can visit?
Well, right now, I just do Instagram. I post pictures. I used to have a blog, but I have stopped blogging. I might come out with a new blog. I love writing, and it's been a long time since I've uploaded pictures or videos or kind of take my time to write a good story, because everything that you do comes with a good story. And so I don't know, maybe that comes out this year. Maybe that'll happen next year. Who knows?
Well, let us know. Let us know if that happens, and I will update this entry. And again, from a short gal to a short gal, thank you very much. I think we're going to freak out our classmates because we're speaking in English. It's not because they don't think we can, but because it's just so, it's not what they're probably used to seeing.
And I love that. Look at you. I mean, you come up with this idea, and this is so cool. I mean, to have your own little podcast there for people to hear and come up and, talk to different people. I love that you're doing this, by the way.
Well, Vanessa, I thank you again for being part of the show. Again, congratulations on all the things that you've accomplished. I'm proud. I'm actually always proud of my classmates' accomplishments. It makes me feel, because we've spent so much time together, it almost makes me feel like you guys are family, and I'm so happy and celebrate with everybody and their accomplishments. And good luck on your trip to France. I hope that you guys learn a lot and come with a lot of life lessons.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thanks, Fabi, for having me over here. And I wish you good luck with your podcast. I hope that this project takes off, and I can't wait to see what your next post will be. So thanks for having me so much. And it's great to see you, even if it's through Skype, and we had some trouble finding each other here today. But I'm glad it's happened, and thanks for inviting me into your program again.
Well, this interview gave us the opportunity to talk for about 55 minutes. So I'm really thankful for that opportunity.
Thanks. Have a great day.
Great. You made it all the way till the end of this episode. Thank you for listening. See you next time. I'm the Short Gal, and this is my show.